I am not finished, and I have stopped apologizing for the incompleteness of the man I am. I have stopped waiting for the final version before I offer what I have to give. The unfinished is not failure, it is honest. It is the recognition that a man who grows is never done, is always in the middle of becoming something only living shows. And unafraid is not the absence of the fear. Unafraid is the decision made beside it, to stand inside the incomplete with full awareness, and refuse to run from it or hide it. The unfinished man who is unafraid of his own process is more complete than the man who claims perfection, because perfection is a finished line, and the unfinished is the truest reflection. Unfinished and unafraid is the most honest thing I've said. Unfinished and unafraid is the life I choose instead of the polished and the perfect and the ready that I was never going to reach. Unfinished and unafraid is the only honest way to teach myself what living actually means. And I stand here mid-sentence, mid-becoming, mid-revision of the man I used to be. Unfinished and unafraid to be exactly what I am, incomplete and free. Unfinished and unafraid, and standing in the middle of the becoming that will never end. And that is the point. There is a mercy in being seen that the unseen man cannot imagine. A kindness in the eyes of someone looking at the actual without the imagined version, without the curated presentation, without the version dressed for acceptance. The mercy of being seen is in the steadiness of eyes that hold the truth without reluctance. did not know what mercy meant until someone looked at me without the filter, without the expectation of the better, without requiring me to be the builder of a more impressive self before the seeing. The mercy was in being looked at whole and finding that the looking did not flinch. The mercy of being seen restored my soul. The mercy of being seen is the kindest thing I know. The mercy of being seen is what allowed me to grow past the hiding and the managing, past the performance of the fine. The mercy of being seen was the moment I could finally be mine. And the mercy is not in the judging, not in the verdict or the score. The mercy is in the quiet willingness to see and then to stay and ask for more of the real, of the actual, of the true. The mercy of being seen was the gift that came from you. The mercy of being seen by you. The mercy of being seen as true is the most generous and the most healing thing I ever knew. There were words that had a deadline, and I missed it by a lifetime and a day. Words that needed to be spoken in the moment, that I carried past the moment and away into the territory of the too late, into the archive of the never said. What I could not say in time lives now only in my head, and the words were not complicated, were not constructed from the difficult. They were simple, they were honest, they were the most direct result of what I felt in clear and plain expression. I love you, I need you, I am here. What I could not say in time was the simplest truth I fear. What I could not say in time is what I carry now as weight. What I could not say in time has become the heaviest freight of a man who had the words and did not use them when they mattered. What I could not say in time left the silence and me shattered. And the lesson is not complicated. The lesson is just this: say it now. Say it before the moment passes you. Say it before you forget how to be the man who speaks the feeling before the feeling goes unheard. What I could not say in time was just a single honest word. What I could not say in time, I say now, to the air, to the ears, to whoever might be listening. What I could not say in time was everything, and now it echoes in the honest and the clear. Devotion has no closing time, does not observe the hours of the reasonable, does not shut down when the sensible man would call the effort no longer feasible. Devotion operates on its own schedule, keeps its own accounting of the spent. Devotion has no closing time, and what I feel has not been lessened by a cent. I am devoted in the hours past the convenient, in the territory after the last excuse, in the space where only the truly committed have not yet found a reason to reduce the feeling to something more proportional, to something more in keeping with the done. concluded, it has barely begun. Devotion has no closing time, and mine is open still. Devotion has no closing time, and nothing tests the will of a man more honestly than the question of whether to keep going when the reason fades. Devotion has no closing time, and mine has not been swayed by the distance or the doubt or the silence in between. Devotion has no closing time, and mine remains unseen but permanent. Devotion has no closing time. Devotion has no final line. It continues past the reasonable, past the same. Devotion has no closing time, and I remain. The courage to be ordinary is the hardest kind of courage that I know. Not the courage of the grand and the heroic, but the courage of the quiet and the slow. The courage to show up without a performance, without the version of the self that impresses. The courage to be ordinary is the courage to be seen in all your messes. I spent years building the extraordinary, the version of myself worth the attention, the polished and the practiced and the ready, the man who earned his right to any mention. But the ordinary man beneath the effort was always more substantial and more true. The courage to be ordinary was the courage to finally let him through. The courage to be ordinary is the bravest thing I've done. The courage to be ordinary means the performing is done, and the man who stands here plainly without the decoration and the show, the courage to be ordinary professor, let me say that ordinary is the ground on which the real is built. Ordinary is the daily and the honest. Ordinary is the love without the guilt of not being enough. Ordinary is always enough. Ordinary is the truest kind of stuff a man can bring. The courage to be ordinary, the courage to be plain, the courage to arrive without the costume and say, I am here, without the fame, without the grand, just the man, ordinary and complete. What I lost taught me more than what I kept. Taught me the particular weight of the real. Taught me that possession is not ownership, and that love is not determined by the deal. I thought I had made with the universe. I thought the keeping was the point. But what I lost rearranged my understanding and taught me at the tenderest joint. What I lost was not the end of the instruction. It was the beginning of the curriculum. The losing opened every door I had been knocking on. From the wrong side, the hard way, the pendulum, swinging back with everything I needed to understand what I had missed before. Taught by what I lost, I am a man who values what he carries so much more. Taught by what I lost, I learned the weight of what remains. Taught by what I lost, I learned the particular strains of love that cost you everything and still returns you to the start. Taught by what I lost, I learned the actual shape of my own heart. I stand here wiser, taught by what I lost. I stand here kinder to the man I was, who did not know what I lost would teach me everything I know. No net, no contingency, no backup plan, no emergency reserve of the uninvested, no portion held behind in case the fall requires something I have not yet tested. Love without a safety net is the only love that reaches the full depth of what it means. Love without a safety net is frightening in the way that only honest living convenes. I have loved with safety nets for years, have kept the portion in reserve for the returning to the version of myself who was alone and managed, and the reserve was always burning. A hole in the complete, a gap in the total, a reminder that I had not fully jumped. Love without a safety net means jumping and trusting that the landing is not bumped against the hard, but held by the honest. Love without a safety net is what I bring you now. Love without a safety net, past the why and past the how. Nothing held back for the emergency of loss, nothing reserved for the potential of the fall. Love without a safety net is everything, is all. Safety net is trusting that the ground I land on makes a different sound than the one I feared. Not the crash, but the arrival. Not the end, but the beginning of the new. Love without a safety net. Love without regret. Love with everything I have. And everything I am. Love without a safety net is the only plan. The revolution happened quietly, without the announcement or the grand occasion, without the crowd, without the declaration, without the need for any validation. It happened in the space between the sleeping and the waking, in the private hush of morning. The quiet revolution was the choosing of the real without a single warning. I simply woke and chose the honest version, simply stood and let the managed version fall, simply spoke the thing I had been holding, and the speaking was not difficult at all. The quiet revolution is not violent, does not require the tearing down of walls. The quiet revolution simply opens them and lets the honest in, that's all. The quiet revolution is the most powerful change I know. The quiet revolution does not need to show itself to anyone. It is private, and the most significant. The quiet revolution changed everything without the need to make a dent in anything but me.
The quiet revolution
already happened.
The quiet revolution
is complete, and the man who stands here now is the result of the quietest, most powerful, most honest defeat of the false by the real. Started at the center and moved outward, from the place where all the honest things reside. And it burned through every layer I constructed, and it burned through every version that I tried to place between the feeling and the surface, between the real and what the world received. Burning from the inside out is what it feels like when a man decides he will no longer be deceived by his own performance. particular warmth of the honest finally reaching the surface, of the real emerging from the dormant form into the visible, into the available, into the man who is no longer locked behind the careful and the managed and the held, burning from the inside out, unlocked, burning from the inside out is what the honest does. Burning from the inside out is what the feeling was. All along beneath the surface, waiting for the man to let it through. Burning from the inside out is how I finally came to you. Burning from the inside out, burning without doubt that what arrives at the surface is the truest and the most alive version of the man I am. I am. The walls are gone. I stand where they once stood, in the space that used to be defended. And the space is larger than I remembered, larger than the walls themselves pretended to protect. They were not protecting, they were containing, reducing, keeping small. The man who stood behind them in the safety was the smallest version of them all. And now I stand where the walls were, without protection and without the need for any barrier between me and the honest, between me and the world that he used to feed. My fear of being seen without the structure, my fear of being known without the frame, standing where the walls were, I discovered that the fear and the walls were the same. Standing where the walls were, I am larger than before. Standing where the walls were, there is more of me I finally let the real man grow. Standing where the walls were, standing in the open of the most available and most vulnerable version of the man I chose to be. Standing where the walls were, free. What is it that holds me when I should be free? What is it that returns me to this place? What moves beneath the surface of my reasoning and puts your presence in my thinking space? It is not a weakness, it is more than that. Not a habit and not something learned by rote. It is the current underneath the stillness, too deep to see, but moving and afloat. Then why resist the pull of full surrender? Why construct these careful measured walls? Why pretend the depth is something manageable when every night the constructed distance falls? Because full surrender is the final frontier of every self-sufficiency I have known. And the man who stands before you asking nothing has spent a lifetime comfortable alone. But too deep to turn means only one direction. Too deep to turn means only one way through. Too deep to turn means I have long past chosen. The depth is you, the direction is you too. I am tired of the arguing, tired of the strategic retreat, tired of pretending that the shallow is a place in which I am willing to compete with what I feel, with what I know, with what has always been. Too deep to turn, too deep to let the surface cover what has always lived within. Too deep to turn means only one direction. Too deep to turn means only one way through. Too deep to turn means I have long past chosen. The depth is you, The direction is you too. Loving you was beautiful, in the way that hollow things are beautiful, resonant and wide, and full of what is not there. I did not know the difference then between the depth of feeling and the depth of space that absence carves inside a man. Beautiful, the way we moved was beautiful, the way you turned toward me before you learn to turn away. I do not want to call it tragedy, because tragedy implies a fault, a flaw. And what we were was not a failure. It was a season with a natural withdrawal. Two people briefly, brilliantly aligned, before the world reminded them of distance. And beauty does not cancel out the ending, but it persists. It carries that insistence. It stays inside the memory of motion, inside the trace of warmth that lingers still. And I would not erase what we became together, even knowing it would end the way it will. Hollow and beautiful, that is the word for memory, when it holds the shape of something without the weight inside. And I keep the hollow because the beautiful demands a place to live, even when the filling is long gone. Hollow and beautiful and mine and gone. still something that believes, even after what has worn belief away. Some persistent thread of possibility that refuses the conclusion of the day. I have been in places where hope made no sense, where the evidence was stacked against its case, and still this soft, insistent voice inside me insisted on the opening of a space where something new could enter, where something old could end with grace, where the story wasn't finished just because it had arrived at a hard place. And maybe hope is not the thing we carry. Maybe hope is something that we are, not a belief in outcomes or in timing, but a nature that survives the deepest scar. I have met the version of myself that doubted, spent long seasons in his company, but the man who hopes is older and more certain that the doubting was the lesser part of me. So before the last exhale, before the final word is spent, before the will to try has fully emptied, I find the thing that hope has always meant. Not a promise, not a guarantee of something better, not a contract with the world to make it right, but a declaration from the self to the self that I am not surrendering tonight. Before the last exhale, there is still something here. Before the last exhale, the feeling remains clear. Before the last exhale, I have not ceased to be the man who wants, who hopes, who reaches. Before the last exhale, still me. I did not surrender in a moment. Surrender is not the kind of thing that happens in a moment. It moved through me the way that understanding moves, in increments, in small revisions. in the gradual dissolving of resistance that I thought was principle. What I had called my independence was a way of loving at a distance, a method I had perfected over years, of being moved by things I was afraid to move toward. And you were patient with me in a way that I did not deserve, but recognized as generous. You did not demand my openness. You simply made the space available and waited to see if I would fill it. The waiting was the kindest thing. Most people fill the silence before you. Decide what you mean before you say it. Complete the sentence you were gathering courage for, but you waited. Surrender is a slow thing. It doesn't come at once, it comes in pieces. In the quiet, in the undefended moments, when you forget to guard. Surrender is a slow thing, the bravest kind of slow, the kind that takes a man a lifetime to finally let go. Surrender, not the portions I selected to be offered, but everything. The parts I carried in the dark, the parts I did not understand myself, the parts that hadn't spoken in so long. They had almost lost the language of themselves. And here I am, entirely arrived in the place that patience built, where surrender is not defeat, but the deepest form of having chosen. I came to you with everything I had, held nothing back, gave more than I could afford. I came to you with everything I had, turned my whole self toward you, and at the end I found that giving all you have is not a guarantee of your reward. I spend my patience building something true, fed it with attention, let it grow. patience building something true, more than any evidence could show. And what I built was real enough. But you decided that you'd never know. There comes a moment when a man must recognize that proving himself is not the point, that love is not a case to be presented, not an argument where merit is the joint. Conclusion of two people and their worth. I was not on trial, and neither were you. But I exhausted myself making the argument, and you had already decided through. So I am done with the demonstration, done with every gesture meant to earn the thing I should have been extended freely, a truth I finished needing you to confirm. I know what I brought, I know what I offered, I know what it cost me and what it was worth. And I no longer need your recognition to understand the value of my worth. With everything I had, and left with everything intact. Nothing left to prove to you. Nothing left to prove. The man I am was always more than what you saw. Nothing left to prove. There is a version of me that the world does not receive, the one that softens at the smallest honest gesture, the one that feels the weight of something passing long before the moment has had time to measure. I constructed early on the harder surface, the one that reads as steadiness and control, because the world was not particularly gentle with the parts of me that wanted to be whole. And so I learned to keep the tender portion in the chamber where no care could see, where the softness was protected from the handling of everything that wanted less from me. But you arrived, and tenderness had nowhere left to go except toward you. It moved before I gave it any clearance. It recognized you before I could construe. The tenderness I hide is not a weakness. It is the realest thing inside this frame. It is the part that loved before it reasoned, the part that felt before I had a name. For what I was becoming in your presence, for what you drew out simply by being near. The tenderness I hide is now the only honest evidence that I am here. And I am here entirely, completely, with every tender part of what I am. No longer hidden, no longer held at distance. The most complete and unguarded that I can. I used to keep my warming at a careful distance. Used to dress it up in something I could manage. Told myself that measured was a form of wisdom, that restraint was not the same as self-inflicted damage. But wanting has a patience longer than resistance. It outlasts every argument I made. And what I kept insisting was a boundary, was simply something waiting to be frayed. Worn down to love, not broken, worn down. The way a man is worn down to his truest, by everything that strips the surface clean. Worn down to love, past every practice distance, down to what I am and what I mean. There is a kind of man who calls his armor wisdom, who names his isolation something earned. And I have been that man in every decade, have worn that reputation till it burned. Because the cost of keeping people at a distance is the law loss of everything that distance caused. And what I thought I was protecting carefully turned out to be the most that I have lost. And you did not wear me down with any pressure. You simply were exactly what you were. And something in your being was sufficient to dissolve what I had spent years to prefer. The preference for alone, the preference for control, the preference for the kind of love that never asked more than I was told I could hold. But you rewrote the preference simply by existing in my range. Worn down to love, not broken, worn down, past the man who kept a careful record, past the version built for standing ground. Worn down to love, to the part that was always underneath it, to the man who wanted to be found. Worn down to love, down to what I am, down to what I mean. Down to you. Down to you. There is a place where enough and not enough share the same coordinates inside a man, where the love that was given is exactly sufficient and exactly more than what the heart can stand. I gave you what I had without reservation. Every part I thought was mine to give, and the giving was not burden, it was living, the most complete expression of to live. But somewhere in the territory of the total, there is a border where the self runs thin, where generosity collides with dissolution, and the man who gave so much forgets within. I stood at that border more than once with you, recognized the feeling and stood firm, decided that the love was worth the thinning, that the self would find its way to reconfirm. But there comes a point beyond the border standing, where the thinning reaches something that won't heal. And I arrived at Love without return is not devotion. It is a man misread as he withstood. At the edge of enough, I found not bitterness but clarity, the kind that only comes from full exhaustion of a love that asked too much of what was free. And I do not recall this out of wounding. There is no version here that seeks a blame. What we were was honest at its center, and the ending does not undo what we became. There is a place where enough and not enough share the same coordinates inside a man. And I have stood there long enough to know them, and long enough to finally understand that I was always more than what was needed, and the edge was not the end of what I am. The edge of enough was just the edge of that season, and I walked from it entirely the same man. There is a space between the said and the unsaid, where most of what we were has made its home. A territory neither one of us declared, and neither one of us has claimed alone. I have walked through that space more than I intended, returned to it the way a man returns to the place where something significant occurred, because the significance still moves and turns inside him. Past the reasoning, past the language, past the version of the story that he tells. The real thing lives between the words about it. The real thing lives where no neat narrative dwells. Somewhere between us, there is still a frequency, a shared vibration that the years have not dissolved. Something that was tuned between two people, that neither distance nor decision has resolved. Suggesting it was unfinished, not suggesting that it needs a second chance. I am simply saying that between two people, Some things outlast the ending of the dance. Somewhere between us, in the territory of the almost spoken, in the feeling that arrived before the thought, in the closeness that we reach before the broken, in the truth we nearly said but never brought to the surface of the ordinary language of two people managing what they became. Somewhere between us is the thing we move past that never answered to another name. Somewhere between us, it still lives. Somewhere between us, something gives its warmth to every silent place I carry forward in the absence of your face. There is a mercy in the ending of resistance, the moment when the holding becomes more than the thing that was being held could carry, and the self decides it will not hold anymore. I have resisted long enough to know what resistance costs across a year, a decade. It costs the tenderness that should be moving and leaves instead a carefully composed charade. I call it self-possession, call it grounded, call it the philosophy of the self-contained. But what I was not a man at peace. I was a man who suffered and who trained himself to make the suffering look chosen, to make the isolation red as strength. And I maintained that reading for so long that I believed it at almost every length. Almost, because the part that knew the truth kept making itself heard in the quiet, in the undefended early hours. And then you offered what I did not know to ask for, not a solution and not a reprieve, but the simple, extraordinary presence of someone who would stay and not deceive. And something in me recognized the mercy of being seen without the need to perform. And something in me that had braced so long against the world Last mercy is not a weakness, it is wisdom, the recognition that the self is not alone. The carrying the full weight of existing is not the same as being fully grown. Last mercy is the moment when the armor is acknowledged as the cover that it was, and the man beneath it steps into the open and is loved precisely as he was, and always is, and always will be. So here I stand, past the resistance, past the decade of the held back and the contained. Here I stand, in the last mercy of this moment, a man entirely arrived and unashamed. Here I stand, in the only place that's honest, with everything I am, completely unrestrained. Last mercy.